Hi, welcome to Kabbalista.com. In this video, we're going to unlock your abundance and your soul's mission. So, as you know, nowadays everyone is talking about getting out of your comfort zone, whether they're suggesting that you jump off a bridge with a bungee cord attached to your ankle, or go backpacking in the jungle, or even get out of your comfort zone by giving a public talk. The number one fear people face, that people have a fear of. The number one thing people have a fear of. Now, while all of these acts of getting out of your comfort zone are amazing, they're all missing one thing. That one thing is your karmic correction. Hi, I'm Zohar, founder of Kabbalista.com. I've been meditating and healing since I was I've been meditating since I was about 12 and healing since 16. Did the vegan thing when I was a teenager and did my undergraduate and graduate work in psychology. Now I do tarot readings and I'm practicing Kabbalist, and I just love doing tarot readings for my clients, and I love giving these karmic correction astrology readings. So you're saying, okay, Zohar, tell me, what is a karmic correction astrology reading? So what it is the karmic correction astrology reading. It looks at your egoic behavior patterns that are blocking abundance in your life. And the way to look at these karmic corrections is that we have this behavior pattern, and we've acted this certain way for many lifetimes, that now it's our second nature. It's our comfort zone. However, with this way of behaving, we've really hit rock bottom with it, because this behavior pattern no longer brings us fulfillment, and in fact, it actually brings us chaos. It's something we need to correct. So it's like this comfort zone is our second nature, and then there's this imbalance. So when we do karmic correction, I'll give you the egoic behavior patterns that you're using that are no longer serving you, so you can let go of those behavior patterns. And then I look at the behavior patterns according to your chart that you need to embrace. So for instance, let's say you have a behavior pattern of being very businesslike. But in this life, it's not bringing you happiness. So we look at the other behavior pattern that you need to replace that with or embrace. And that might be being in touch more with your feminine side. Okay, this is just a basic example. Now, so with these tools, this will help you get out of your comfort zone, which brings you transformation. Not just like an ego boost of, oh, I did it. It brings inner transformation. This is Kabbalah wisdom. Okay, so this is a very short video. If you want to do your karmic correction, I really recommend it. Everyone should do it. And the reason we should all do a karmic correction is because in Kabbalah we know that we're all connected by the light. Okay, we're all connected by source, which is the light. However, there's these obstructions and veils of negative energy or negative klipot that covers the light. Now, when you as a person break that karmic energy, that negative energy, by doing a less egoic behavior, it brings light in your life. And instantaneously, that brings light in everyone, all the 8 billion people's lives in this world. It's like, it's a quantum physics effect. Okay, so this is why everyone should do a karmic correction astrology reading. The more people who are breaking those egoic patterns, the more light we're bringing into the world. Okay, and we're all unified. If we want to see peace in the world, which is, I don't know if it's going to happen, but we'll see, then we need to look at those places where our ego is blocking the light. Okay, so that's what I'll do when I look at your karmic correction. Now, I'm giving 2 karmic corrections, and one is a basic karmic correction, and then the second one is more personal, where I'll look at the areas, specific areas in your life that you can use your karmic correction to get the most benefit out of it. And there'll be 3 specific areas that I look at. Also, just read below all the details of what you get. If you have any questions, feel free to email me at hello@luluberry.com. That's hello@luluberri.com. And I look forward to seeing you. Get on the mailing list because I will send out emails every Wednesday to offer you a spot for a karmic correction. I have limited spots because I have to do the astrology reading myself, so I have a limited number of spots. So if you're on the VIP list, it's first come, first serve, and it usually takes about 2 to 4 days to get your karmic correction reading back to you. And what else? That's it. Oh, also this summer, for May and June, I'm giving a discount on the normal price. And if you sign 2 other people up, if you have 2 friends or 2 family members or acquaintances who want to do the karmic correction with you, you'll get a $15 discount. So, all the best, many blessings, happiness, and light to you. And I will see you in the members area. Hey, okay, so I wanted to make the video as short as possible, but I realized there was some information that I didn't share with you, and that's the benefits of a karmic correction. Now, the thing is, here's the kicker. I have a flight to catch like in 5 hours, and I'm like 2.5 hours away from the airport. I haven't got my I haven't reserved my transportation, and I need to pack my bags. So I'm gonna make this really short and sweet as possible, and if I fumble, like, you know, just forgive me. It's like so not planned. But I want to give you this before I leave. And another thing is I put on some makeup so I can look somewhat decent. And you know, when it comes to makeup, you guys have to know and understand is like, I'm the worst. Like in my family, my mom and sister know all about makeup. And I mean, they put on like eyeshadow and something here and blush, and they just look beautiful. And I've never done that. I've always just put lip gloss. And actually, this is real embarrassing, but one Christmas I went home from college for Christmas, and I had like a Frida Kahlo mustache. So I was like, yeah, whatever. I'm in a women's college, and even if I wasn't in the women's college, even if it was like co-ed, I'd still probably have that mustache because it was like time consuming to think about taking it off, and I was too busy. So my mom was like begging me to remove it, and I just wasn't listening. It was like in one ear, out the other. And then she finally like took me to the beauty parlor and they took it off. And actually it looked better. So it's something, I don't have a Frida Kahlo mustache, thanks to my mom, and lucky for you. So I did attempt to put makeup on, but I think bronzer failed. So hopefully I'll get better at it. So like, let's just dive right in. And I want to share the benefits of this karmic correction astro reading with you. And so I'm going to start with my own karmic correction astrology reading story. And it all started when I was 18. The only thing is, I did not have this information when I was 18, and I wish I would have had it, because my life would be completely different. It would have been a lot easier, and you know, so let me just tell you what happened. So I was 18, and I was getting ready to go to college, and my grandma told me, hey, you know, you should study computers. It's like the big thing of the future. And I was like, as if. So, you know, my plans were, I'd been preparing in high school to go to medical school. And at that time, I was actually stuck in one of my let go behaviors, my egoic behaviors. That's in my astrology chart. And so that's why I totally like closed my ears off to my grandma's suggestion. So I went off to school. I got accepted to a private women's college, and I did my undergraduate in psychology, chemistry, and pre-med. It was actually a minor in chemistry because I took all those pre-med classes, so I was like, took a few, like 2 extra classes to get that minor in chemistry. What happened was, like around my sophomore summer, I started getting into my spiritual practice, and yeah, lots of things happened that summer, pretty amazing things. And then my junior year, I was just like full on like doing my spiritual practice and, you know, my studies. And the next summer, I worked for my uncle in his medical practice. And it was there that I realized that, you know, the patients that I was doing intakes for just really wanted someone to listen to them. And I was like, how do you do that in medicine? Like, my uncle does not have time to listen to a single patient. It's like, bring the patient in, chat for 10 minutes, push him out. And then I noticed that my uncle was not doing anything to really help his patients. And I confronted him. I said, you know what, you're just a pill pusher. And that did not go over very well. But granted to say, like, today he is actually educating his patients on health and nutrition. So that's nice. I think he finally forgave me. Anyways, so it was in my junior year that I decided, you know what, I'm not going to medical school. I need to find something else. Maybe I'll study yoga to help people, or psychology, but, you know, I don't really know if I like psychology. I don't want to really be a therapist and listen to people's problems because, you know, we all know that doesn't help. But who knows, maybe it does. So it does help. So anyways, by the time I graduated, I had been working on myself, right? And then that, like, I don't know when, but maybe a month later, a friend, my college classmate, she lives in Los Angeles, and she called me up. She's like, why don't you come down to LA? So I was like, yeah, okay, let me go. I'm not doing nothing. I'm doing absolutely nothing here. I don't know where to start. You know, my whole life path was just destroyed via my own thoughts. So anyways, I went to LA for like 6 months, and you know, what else do you do in LA except but hang out with water polo Olympians who turn model and are like really cute, and, you know, actors and Italians. So I don't know, that summer I hang out with, I had 2 like really close Italian friends, yeah, I have a lot of Italian connections actually. So anyways, I was there, and I did like get into modeling a little, and but like one photo shoot, the guy told me, like, you have pimples, like, what are you thinking? You cannot be doing modeling with pimples. And like, I was like, oh my god, I'm like the worst person on the planet. so I was like, yeah, this is not going anywhere. So anyways, I had a great time, kind of, because I really didn't, because I was in this existential angst about my life and my career, you know. So I went back to the Bay Area, you know, San Francisco, and hung out with some friends, and then through word of mouth, you know, people knew I was looking for a job, and one of my friends, she called me up, she's like, hey, you know, why don't you apply to this Fortune 500 company, blah, 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 and see, you know, if you can work in Silicon Valley. So long, convoluted story. Anyways, I got this job with the Fortune 500 working in Silicon Valley. And it was like, of course at that time, just being right out of college, I was like totally intimidated. You know how that goes. And didn't know what I was doing. And I got the job. So I was like, cool. So I was working in Silicon Valley, and then I started investing in startups. I invested in IPOs, and then I invested in technology stocks. So I had started investing in stocks since I was like 18, but by this time I was investing in technology stocks. And so I actually made like a lot of money. And here's the kicker. So one of my cosmic archetypes, or my soul's archetypes, is technology. And every time I'm in technology, it's like where my abundance is, it's where my soul grows, it's where my happiness is. And, you know, I'm dumbfounded by it. And as I later, you know, I left that job, and because I made so much money, so I retired. Briefly, really briefly. I mean, I didn't make like millions, but I made pretty good chunk. I was paying taxes. So the thing is, like, in the past, I've always been interested in like other things, and I found out there was this, you know, I know that I have this other cosmic archetype, and I decided to give it a try. I did, because it's always something I've been interested in. And when I gave it a try, I was like, again, instant abundance, no struggle, like clients moving in, like coming and going, like water. So my point is like, if I would have known about my cosmic archetype back when I was, working in Silicon Valley, I probably would have stayed there longer, and I probably, I know I would have been really happy doing what I was doing, because that's where my soul grows, and that's where my bliss is. It's not just about only money. And after I did leave, like after a year or two, I was really missing it, and I was really missing the people that I worked with. But I decided like, oh, I should be more spiritual and go into yoga. And yoga is not my archetype at all. And I was like never happy studying yoga. Okay, but I was like doing that because that's what the people who are spiritual do, and so you can't like assume like these jobs or archetypes that look mundane. Like there's some mundane archetypes like a gardener, technology. Where's the spirituality in that? You might think, right? But it is a spiritual thing, because everything is created from the Creator, and there's light in everything. So it's like you can find abundance in the mundane. So that's my story about my karma correction, and I'm really, really happy that I know my soul's archetype, and I know where my egoic behavior patterns were blocking me. And so I use those, and sometimes it's hard, and I get busy, and I don't really proactively work on them. But it's all about just printing out the sheet that you get with your karmic correction, and like writing it down, and then doing it for that day. So we'll talk about that in the members area when you get your karmic correction. I'm going to share one more story. So let's see, how long is this video? It's only been 11 minutes. Okay, so this is good. I think I have time to pack and get some transportation to the airport. So this other story that's like really profound, and I don't know how to like really shorten it, because there's just so many. There's just like so much light in this one client I had. So I met this client, and we met at a cafe, and that's like a whole story within itself. And maybe I'll get to that, but let me just focus on his story. So his story is that he's already famous, and he started chatting with me, and I was like, yeah, blah blah blah. And I was like, he's a astrologer and tarot reader, and he's also an actor, an award-winning actor. So he started his astrology and tarot card reading when he was 11. And, his acting, I don't know when he started, but he's acted, directed, and wants to dabble in writing. And he's also doing yoga. So he's like, oh, let me look at your chart. And I'm like, nah, I don't have time, I'm busy. So anyways, I don't know what happened. The end of it all, like, he asked me for a karmic astrology reading and a tarot reading. So I went ahead and gave him his karmic correction astrology reading. And like, oh my God, his soul's archetype, or his cosmic, I like to call it cosmic archetype, and there's a reason for that we'll talk about later. But his cosmic archetype is, one of them was singer. So before I found this, I did ask him, has he ever tried singing? And he said, yeah, but his teacher said there's no way he'd be successful. But because of a few things, I don't know. And I was like, oh, that's funny, because when I took singing classes, my teacher said I'm like one note off opera. So anyways, but that's not my archetype. So anyways, okay, that was a one-upper on him, huh? So bad. Okay. Anyways, so one of his archetypes is singing. So when we think of singing, we think of expressing yourself, your emotions. So acting, that would be a good career for him, something that where he could express a certain behavior pattern that would let his soul grow. Okay, and interestingly enough, his let go behavior, one of them, was connected to the tarot and astrology. mainly the tarot reading. And when I did his tarot reading on these 4 career paths that he was thinking to go into, continue with, because he couldn't do all 4 of them at once, the tarot, when I did the tarot card said no for him doing tarot reading. And it was in alignment with his karmic correction reading, which is, one of his let go behaviors was to let go of that type of behavior, of this like mystical, deep secrets kind of seeking behavior, for lack of a better word. Okay. And and it's interesting because he started it when he was 11 years old. So it was like second nature. It was easy for him to do because he had done it for so many lifetimes. So, what else? He really enjoyed acting, and his abundance is there. He's already an award actor, a winning actor, but he was like trying to figure out if he does that full time or the writing full time. The tarot reading told us to do the acting the full time, and continue with the yoga. And so that's his story. Also, he just got into veganism, and like one of his archetypes matched that. And so it's funny because he was going to this one vegan cafe like every day for 50 days. And, as his own challenge, and this cafe was getting so much business from word of mouth of him because he was posting on his Instagram. So it's like there's this abundance, so it's like one of his archetypes. He's not getting the abundance directly, but it's one of his archetypes. And so it's like all these people started going to this vegan restaurant, and so it's bringing light into other people's lives, okay? Because veganism is a good thing, right? You're living on a higher energy than if you're consuming animal products. There's like no doubt about that. Okay, so when a lot of people start coming to a vegan restaurant, and who usually don't go to vegan restaurants, it's like you're getting more light in the world. So again, it gets back to that, like seeing how he was working on his karmic correction or living one of his cosmic archetypes, and how it wasn't just bringing light to himself, but that it was bringing light to so many other people. And in fact, I was like in the city and I was looking for a vegan restaurant, and I kept going to this one cafe, and it was like, okay, I'm bored with it. The food doesn't seem so fresh, and I cannot find like another good restaurant like in the area I was staying at, where my hotel was. So it was like, again, because of him, my friend who follows him told me, and so we met there for lunch, and that's how I found this vegan restaurant. It was amazing. So that's just 2 examples of how this karmic correction doesn't only bring light into your life, but it brings light into everyone's life around the planet. And another thing I'll tell you, so you can understand this, like how we're all connected, is like me and this guy, we start comparing our notes on situations that happened in our life in specific time periods. And kid you not, like when I was going through one thing, he was going through that same thing. So I was like, okay, you're my twin flame, but he's not my twin flame. But it's all about this, when you work really hard, because there's been times where I work really hard to break my karmic pattern, and it allows all the other 8 billion people to free up that energy from them, that negative energy. Okay, so that's why this karmic correction astro reading is so important, and I really hope you get one, and bring more light into your life, more abundance, because when you have more light, you attract more abundance. Okay, and abundance is what? Abundance in everything. The creator, the light, is infinite. So having infinity, what does that mean? You have abundance in health, abundance in money, abundance in love, fulfillment, self-love. That's all from the light. Okay, and I agree with Osho, who said it's easier to get enlightenment in a Rolls Royce than a bullock cart. So life is not about the struggle, okay? So like we probably should give out the meme like the struggle is real, because why do you want to struggle? You don't have to. And with karmic correction, you'll like have like the information right in front of your face on where your struggle is and how to be proactively get beyond that, break that pattern. It's just a pattern. I think on my webpage I did not mention that I'll also give you a video on like 4 or 5 easy steps to break a karmic pattern, and so I'll put that up on the video on the website for you guys. Just came to my mind. Mental note. So what else do I want to say? I think that's it. So I hope to see you in the members area, and have a beautiful romantic rest of your day. Much light and love to you, and I look forward to seeing you in the members area. So I'm gonna go and pack my clothes and try and catch that flight. So bye for now.